Hi everyone, today I'm going to teach you 10 simple practice positions. They're going to help your whole body feel better.
It's a whole body system that you can do from your couch.
Before we get started, just a few recommendations. The first is drink some water. Hydrated muscles are a lot easier to work with. And the second thing is, if you can, take a walk around the blocks. Do something easy for 5 to 10 minutes to help get some blood flowing. The golden rule is if any of these practice positions feel uncomfortable or are painful at all, don't do the practice position. That's so important because the goal of this whole system is to make you feel better. So if you force yourself to do something that feels uncomfortable, that can cause pain. And pain often creates inflammation, which creates more pain. When you're doing the first two positions, you can definitely use a pillow or two behind your back. That's going to make things a lot more comfortable for you. This first practice position is for your hips. As we practice hip range of motion, that helps preserve range of motion for the long term, which also helps preserve the joint. When you first do this practice position or any other, just go easy with it. You could do this for just 5 seconds, see how it feels. If all of these are feeling good, then the next day, if you want, you could do it a little bit longer. Pulling on this side of my knee, I got my right leg here, and I'm pulling the knee more at an angle towards my opposite shoulder. And as you do that, you're going to feel that stretch down in your hip. If you're interested in preventing back pain, it is a good idea to keep these muscles pliable because one of these hip rotator muscles or smaller hip muscles is a culprit for back pain. Toe circle, this is a stupidly simple practice position. We're not going really fast, right? We're just going nice and slow, trying to draw a complete circle. What you're actually doing is activating these Peroneus and Tibialis muscles on your lower leg, and that's what gives these muscles leverage to keep your feet, ankles, and knees stable. So they really protect you as you move, and they protect the connective tissue in your ankles and your knees. They prevent injuries and pain, essentially. Go easy at first. You could try it in both directions, but the goal is to really feel these lower leg muscles working. They're so important for creating stability. It's like the foundation of a house, essentially. If that foundation is sloped, the floors above are going to suffer. Similarly, these muscles help create the foundation for our feet. Position number 3, you can see I'm turned sideways on my couch. I have this leg supported with a pillow for supporting your ankle while you do this stretch. I also have a pillow behind my back to support my lower back. Slowly lean backwards. And as I do, I'm stretching these thigh muscles. I'm also stretching hip flexor muscles. The reason that's super important is when hip flexor muscles get tight, they're a major culprit for causing back pain. When our quadriceps, these thigh muscles, get excessively tight, they're a major culprit for causing knee pain. So we can help preserve and protect our knees and our spine by just doing this one simple stretch. Another benefit as you lean back is you'll notice you get a stretch in your ankle and those tibialis and peroneus muscles that we were working with the toe circles. You're actually practicing range of motion for your ankle, for your knee, and for your hips. That's important because when we practice joint range of motion, that's how we preserve our joints for better long-term function and also preventing body problems like aches, pain, stiffness, swelling, nerve impingement. As long as you're here in this position, what you can do is very gently lean forward, keeping your upper back more upright. You'll notice you feel some stretches on the back side of your leg in your hamstrings. By stretching your hamstrings, you can create multiple benefits. Number 1, you can help your knee function. You can also create a smoother tracking pattern as you walk. So by keeping them pliable, you're actually allowing them to work as shock absorbers better and protect your joints. By keeping your hamstrings pliable, you can improve back function. Because when your hamstrings are excessively tight, that pulls down on the back side of the pelvis, and that can cause a flattening in the lower back arch, which can cause back problems. We're going to do a simple practice position for your shoulders, palms up, your elbows are by your sides, and then you slowly rotate your hands out away from your body. You're practicing rotation for the shoulder, but you're also activating some smaller muscles called your rotator cuff muscles. Because our shoulders have such amazing range of motion, we can do incredible things with our shoulders. That function can come with a price to pay if we don't activate the muscles that protect the joint. It's kind of like four-wheel drive for a car. If you have four-wheel drive, sometimes that can just enable you to get stuck further up in the mountains. As we move out, we're practicing something called external rotation. This movement is the opposite of what we do while we're at our desks and our computers. Over time, as we sit for hours and hours every day, can cause problems with our posture, right? Pulling us forward. But also that imbalance can cause aches, pains, and potentially injuries for our shoulders. You could do this one at first, just do 3 or 4. As everything's feeling good, then as you do this again the next day and the day after, you could do a few more. You could eventually do up to 25 repetitions. You could eventually use some soup cans if you want to have a little bit of resistance. Okay, the next practice position we're going to do is called the rowboat or the back row. And it's another super simple practice position. You're keeping your elbows by your sides and then slowly pulling your elbows backwards, in this case towards the couch. Number 1, these rhomboid muscles up here are actually stabilizers for your shoulders. So every time you move and use your arm, these muscles are engaging as a counterbalance to all your shoulder movements. When you first do this position, you could go back and forth 3 or 4 times, and you're putting your mind in the muscle. You're intentionally squeezing these muscles tight as you pull back. If you have a friend nearby, you could have them put their hand on these muscles as you go back and forth, so you can actually get a better sense of feeling those muscles engage. When someone shows off their bicep, they squeeze their bicep tight, right, to show it off. It's the similar process with your mind. You're thinking about those rhomboid muscles as you do this movement and squeezing those muscles tight. As we sit 8 hours a day, that's easily 2,900 hours of sitting where we start to practice this type of thing. Pump some blood into these upper back muscles so they can do a better job of creating a foundation for our body. You're actually creating better blood flow to and from your brain. Can be helpful as well for preventing headaches, so your brain will be happier. Because this upper body muscle imbalance is so prevalent, I wanted to show you one more practice position to counteract that. Turning our palms open and then pulling our arms back and just holding this position. At first, like all the other ones, you want to underdo this and just get a sense of how it feels for your body. And doing these 2 things is going to help, once again, counteract not only sitting, but also gravity. Gravity is trying to pull us forward all day too. You'll feel straighter, you can just feel better energetically, and feel better moving around and using your body. This practice position is another one for your shoulders. You're activating your shoulder muscles, these deltoid muscles, and you're also activating one in particular rotator cuff muscle that inserts more on the top of the shoulder, and it has a lot of leverage for protecting your shoulders. You could just try 3 or 4 of these, see how it feels. Over time, as you get more used to the practice position, you could do more. You could do up to 25 eventually. Moving on up the ladder to our neck, where you're turning your head side to side. Just that simple. When you first try this, just do a few repetitions, get a sense of how your body's responding to this. Just like with our shoulders and the toe circle, is we're practicing joint range of motion. In this case, for our neck and our spine is an interconnected series of joints. By practicing range of motion for these joints, we help preserve function for the long term. In particular, if you do sit a lot and you're not using your body with variety every day, let's say you have an office job or you just don't tend to move a lot during the day, that's why this position and the other positions can be so beneficial. We're practicing joint range of motion. We're lubricating. Once again, when you practice this, you're spreading synovial fluid throughout these joints, and you are able to prevent body issues like aches, pain, stiffness, swelling, nerve impingement, and joint problems. Number 10, one more practice position for your neck. Very slowly let your ear move down towards the shoulder on the same side. This is another way we can practice range of motion, in this case for the neck, just by letting the head rests down towards the shoulder. Do this the first time you do it, and then try the other side. Okay, so that's the system. 10 practice positions you can do entirely from your couch. Let's do a quick 60-second recap. Number 1, we practiced hip range of motion to improve hip longevity and also prevent hip and lower back pain. Toe circles to improve balance, foot, ankle, and knee health. Number 3, we stretched these quadriceps muscles. Remember that you can use the pillow behind your lower back as you lean back, and also put pillows underneath your ankle for ankle support. Number 4, lean forward, keeping our lower back more upright so that we can stretch these hamstrings to improve knee function and also prevent lower back pain. Number 5, we practiced the shoulder rotators to activate our rotator cuff muscles, protect our shoulders. Number 6, we did the rowboat to improve upper back and neck health and also improve shoulder function. And we practiced the flying movement to activate those shoulder muscles to protect our shoulders. Upper front stretching to counteract the effects of sitting and improve shoulder, upper back, and neck function. Number 9, we practiced neck rotation to improve neck function. And number 10, we practiced stretching our neck to the side. Thanks so much for checking in with me. My name is Bart. I'm an exercise therapist, fitness trainer, and author of the award-winning book Jiffy Body, the 10-minute system to avoid joint and muscle pain. If you like this video, you'll love my book. You can find the link to that in the notes below. And if you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up, add a comment below or a question, which I'd be happy to answer. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.